Welcome in, everybody. Thank you all for being here. What are we gonna do? We gotta grind. We gotta get those tokens. We have What's New Wednesday every Wednesday, except for when I'm at a funeral in Kelowna. So can't miss it. We already missed a week. So we're gonna go through our What's New Wednesday bit. Because there's so much stuff to cover, because I missed a week, we're gonna go through the Coles notes for a bunch of it. But the more recent stuff, we're gonna try and really cover and get into. But we're gonna talk about the token price. Token price rallied all the way from like 29 cents up to 45 cents. Huge pump. Totally called it. Hourglass prices are something that definitely needs to be addressed. Timewarden prices have skyrocketed, and there has been multiple weeks of crafting events to cover. Some huge, some sort of normal, but we'll go through all that. And finally, we're just going to quickly talk about the referral leaderboard, because it's probably one of the most slept on ways that people can get big time tokens in their wallet. First thing, of course, is we're going to go over the token price. And yeah, guys, I totally called it. Here's the token price. Pretty crazy, guys. This is where we left off the last What's New Wednesday. I want to show you guys what I was talking about last week that I did my What's New Wednesday.
26 cents. So we really want to see this support stay. This 30-cent range is probably the strongest support range we've had since we started consolidating downwards. So we might see, a good trend reversal here, especially if we get a lot of...
We might see a good trend reversal here, especially if we get a lot of buy pressure.
Buy pressure, right? If, like I've been sort of hoping, we see a bunch of tokens being bought up to max out crafting throughout the crafting event that I expect to happen in Valentine's Day area.
We kind of called this the token price action happening here, guys. We listen to this.
Who knows? Maybe there won't be any crafting event for Valentine's Day, but if it's anything like Christmas, the crafts were juicy, definitely less than crafting all the way from common up to epic or legendary, but they required a lot of big time up front, which means you need access to a lot of big time liquidity like right away. So we might see a lot of people buying big time tokens throughout Valentine's week, and that might be what it takes. There's a lot of hype around 0.29 now because they've made some changes. We're going to talk about that next. That has resulted in big time tokens dropping like crazy. We haven't seen these drops since the beginning of the economy, and I think that it'll really sort of stimulate the big time market, probably help push along a new resurgence, a new pump. Hopefully up to $1, but if not, up to 50 cents, maybe higher. That's the token price. We got the RSI, it's trending downwards. It's in a sort of a good entry point.
Good entry point.
What the RSI is saying. And MACD, it's in the green right now, but we don't really have very much buy pressure here, guys. We have quite a bit of sell pressure. We haven't quite hit that equilibrium yet. We haven't quite seen that buy pressure yet. There's been a little bit of a spike in volume since the tokens started dropping, and we still haven't quite seen the volume that we need. If we look at the 4 hour, we had this little dump yesterday, quickly down to 29 cents, and we've defended that support. But once again, if we hit 30 cents like another few times without seeing enough buy pressure, then we'll probably drop down to 26 cents. And if we drop down to 26 cents,
if we don't get the buy pressure we need,
support a few times, then we'll probably see us go down to 20 cents. So 26 cents down to 20 cents. That's what we should expect to see if we don't see the buy pressure we need. We've got a lot of consolidation happening here throughout the past couple of months since we've seen $1. So, we seem kind of primed to explode. You look at the RSI, for example, it looks like it.
Okay, so what happened, right? So let's go back quickly. Boom, that was then. Really awesome to see some factors there that we kind of expected, right? If there's a crafting event similar to the Christmas crafting event, we would probably see a lot of buy pressure that could sort of stimulate a pump and some hype for the token, and we saw that. So okay, so let's look at this. Here's Wednesday. On Friday they announced the crafting event, right, which is technically Thursday my time. So Thursday, Friday, they announced the crafting event, boom. And then that gets crafted out. Sunday, they announce the second craft for the epic hammer. Boom, that goes up. And then we see some consolidation here. People buy up all the tokens, they use the tokens, people are selling the token, boom. And then when do we see people starting to prepare for final craft, which is a legendary hammer, right? People are accumulating, they're accumulating, and boom. Once again, we see the token price fall after that. People aren't buying the token anymore because exactly on this day, on the 16th, the final craft was announced, and instantly we start seeing the token price fall back down towards 37 cents, 39 cents. And then what do we get? There's one final crafting event, a double leaderboard point event on literally any other or anything that you can do in the game. And we see people accumulating, trying to get as many crafts as they can done in those 2 days that crafting event was live. Crafting event is over on the 20th, and then we go back down to 39 cents. After that, there wasn't really any kind of crafting events to take its place as far as like a double leaderboard, super hype, crazy, gotta rush, gotta buy all the tokens kind of an event. And we kind of see that the buy pressure is gone and didn't even pass 40 cents sort of like resistance line here. Just today, we saw it break through the support line of 39 cents. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of the token price that we experienced the past week, right? A lot of really juicy crafting events, a lot of buy pressure. That buy pressure subsided now, and we've seen the token price fall down to a support at around 36 cents. And I don't know. I don't think that we're gonna, so we might crab along this little range here between 36 and 39, 40 cents. But I have a feeling like there's a lot of sell pressure going on right now. If you look at the 4-hour RSI, it's oversold. You look at the MACD, it's red trending into the green, but you know, the buy pressure is not there anymore. We had it for the event and it's kind of chilled out. So unless we see some like intense market speculation, I don't think we'll see much. What we do see is there another bout of consolidation about to start happening here, right? We did the whole consolidation from $1, boom, 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 all the way down to this really strong support line at around 29, 30 cents. We came up here. Are we gonna see it continue to trend down again until we hit 30 cents? It's very likely, in my opinion, but we might see a breakout again, and that breakout might be the one that we need to get up over 50 cents towards $1. But I do think that like right now, if you look at the 4-hour, throughout this past week, they tried to break 45 cents, were denied, tried to break 45 cents, were denied, tried to break 45 cents, were denied. So I think that the bulls are probably pretty demoralized right now. I'm not feeling too bullish right now. You know, no one can predict what's going to happen, but personally for me, the market's looking pretty oversold on the 4-hour. If I look at the daily, it's just like this RSI down here is kind of in the middle of the range. That's like usually a waiting pattern for me. I wouldn't be selling or really buying here. It's a wait and see now for me. I want to see if we can defend this support range around 36 cents consistently enough to see like a good breakout moving towards 45 to 50 cents again, but we'll just have to see. All I can say is that I'm not gonna be selling my tokens. Glad I sold some at 40 cents, and I wanted to go back up to 40, 45 cents so I can sell another bag, because you know, I need that liquidity to put back in the game. That's the token price, and this has had a huge effect on all sorts of other parts of the game, right? So combined with a big rally in the token price, we've also seen a huge rally in the amount of big time tokens dropping in the game, and that's huge for players, and it brings on a lot of hype. People think, oh, I want to invest in that time warden, I want to get those hourglasses, things like that, right? So what has that done for the price of time wardens? If we look at time wardens right now, a rare is $1,500, a lunar or common is just about 1,000, an uncommon is 1,300, epic 17, right? And there's really only 41 commons listed right now. There's like 18 uncommons listed. There's about 15 rares. There's 10 epics. There's like 23 legendaries. A lot of legendaries were listed right now. Seems like a lot of people bought up legendaries, and now there's too much supply and people don't know what to do with it. There's 6 mythics. There's also like 6 exalteds and 2 exotics. So the supply of time wardens in general on the market right now is really low, but what we do know is that there's all sorts of things that could change that, right? If the token price dropped too much, then all of a sudden it's less worth it for some people and they're going to think about liquidating some of their assets, right? So token price could definitely affect the supply on the market. And then same thing, if the token drop in game start to dry up or become harder to get, that could really affect the supply on the market. We might see a lot of time wardens get dumped on the market. And then on top of that, big time does like to throw out those mystery boxes, and every time there's a mystery box sale, you know, it's a lot more workshops that are going on the market. So there's a lot of factors here, and I think personally we'll probably find more supply entering the market sooner rather than later. Right now it's a seller's market in my opinion, but that can change on the drop of a hat. Time Wardens have all been bought up, but it might not stay that way. There's all sorts of factors that could change that. So like me personally, I have several Time Wardens, and I thought, well, why don't I just like, I listed, I'm not sure if they'll sell, and if they don't, I'm really not upset about it. I did list 2 of my Time Wardens for just a little bit above floor because they're level 8 Time Wardens, and if they sell, then that's great. I'm thinking this might be a top, who knows, and then I can sort of reinvest back when the market sort of becomes a little bit more saturated. So I mean, that's what I'm doing. Next thing is sort of by extension, you know, we're talking about patch 0.29, a lot of hype, some crazy stuff going on, right? So if we look at the Hourglass prices, guys, they haven't really budged a whole lot since they took this big dive. Like they've basically been like a rares like between $130 and $180. Same thing with like the uncommons and commons and the epics, you know, they're all basically around the same price, give or take a little bit. But if you go in and you look at how many Hourglasses are on the market, 3 weeks ago we were talking about how the Hourglass prices are basically doomed to keep going down because there was so much supply on the market and there just wasn't enough demand. And that was before patch 2.9 came out, and there was actually a lot more demand for Hourglasses. And I basically said, I doubt we'll see enough demand to outpace the supply until open beta, right? That 3 weeks ago, there was 7,000 rare Hourglasses on the market, guys. Today, there's 557. And you know, you can go through each one of these. There was like 1,000 epics. Now there's a couple hundred on the market, and the list goes on. But what's even crazier is the amount of epics that are actually in the game in total, like crafted. There was 1,000 more epics in the game crafted 3 weeks ago, more than 1,000 3 weeks ago than there is today. So what that means is that people are crafting with these epics, right? And by extension, there's actually over 600 more legendary Hourglasses in the game right now than there was 3 weeks ago. People have really been rushing to try and craft as many legendaries as they can, bring down the price of the legendary glasses, you know, so it goes. Same thing with mythics. People are going to start using their legendaries to craft mythics, and that's how it works. But you can basically, there's thousands less of each common, rare, uncommon, epic Hourglass in the game right now than there was 3 weeks ago, because people are using all of them to craft up, because now they actually want those high rarity glasses. Now they actually are filling them with time. Now they are actually putting them in the game and putting them to work. So we could see a shift in the price of these Hourglasses potentially if the supply continues to get either bought up, used up, crafted up, you know what I mean? That could affect the price of the Hourglasses. Personally, I don't think that we're gonna see like $500 or $700 rare Hourglasses again anytime soon. I still think that that'll require open beta and a lot more buy pressure and a lot more demand. But it's pretty crazy. It's insane to think that 3 weeks ago there was more than 7,000 rare Hourglasses on the market. People trying to sell 7,000. Not even in the game. There was more than 7. There was like 11 or 10,000 in total in the game, but there was 7,000 on the market. And now pretty much all of them are being used or being used to craft up to higher rarities. Pretty crazy stuff. I didn't expect to see so much demand come out of nowhere, but you know, when you can actually earn tokens in the game, you'd be surprised what it does for the secondary market. All right, so that's the Hourglasses, guys. It's really insane. Okay, so it's been a long time, right? The last thing I reported on was AME that Big Time planned on doing, and that was from February the 7th. 2 days later, I'm gonna skip this whole thing about the enemy design contest. It's cool, you could have won mystery boxes, but it's just, we've only got so much time. On Friday, the 9th of February, like I was saying in the last video, in my last What's New Wednesday, if we get a crafting event similar to the Christmas one, we're gonna see some crazy stuff happen, and we did. We saw it. So they brought out a very similar crafting event. The only difference is that there's 3 items instead of 4 that are being crafted in total, and all 3 of these items are weapons. The first weapon was a rare staff, the second weapon was an epic hammer, and the third weapon was a legendary hammer. But you have to craft out the entire first item before the second one becomes available, and so on. The cool thing about this is you have to pay a lot of big time tokens up front, and a lot of like tokens in crafting and refining augmented terracore and infused terracore, or augmented and infused lattice, but it still is quite cheap compared to if you were to craft a rare or legendary epic item all the way from commons up to that rarity. So it's a great way to like slingshot your way up into the leaderboard positions. It's a great way to get those higher rarity items that you can wear in game quickly and cheaper overall. And on top of that, you get double leaderboard points. So it's a huge event. But what we did see is that the first two, the rare and the epic, kind of took quite a while to craft. This event started on the 9th, and we didn't see the legendaries be craftable until the 16th. And the moment the legendaries were craftable, they pretty much crafted out within like 5 hours. It was really hard to be able to get a chance to craft one. I wanted to craft like 5 because I was hoping that I would be able to use my airdrop that I was going to be getting that day on Friday to craft the rest of them, because I would have had about 4,999 big time tokens in total, because I'd been saving up. I'd saved up and I'd been saving all of the stuff I earned from all of the prestige portals that I'd been doing. So I thought I was ready, but I only had 1,999 tokens by the time that they all fully minted out. So I only got to craft one, which is very sad and unfortunate. But congratulations to all the people who were way more prepared than me and were probably buying tokens during these events, like we were just sort of talking about why we saw that price action. Yeah, the one thing to note is that the legendary only had 300 less supply than the epics, right? The epics took several days to craft out. The legendary with 500 mints crafted out instantly. So it was a pretty crazy event. A lot of people had some awesome leaderboard movement, and a lot of people like me were really banking on getting those airdrops before the mint had completely crafted out, and we just didn't get a chance. I was so ready, not ready enough. RIP to all the people who did not get a chance to craft it. So next thing, the week 4 crafting events. The only thing we're really going to talk about here is there was a crafting event where you could get 7,500 leaderboard points for crafting 3 cosmetic armors of the rarity of uncommon or higher. It was a nice, easy crafting event to accomplish for a lot of people. So there we go. So on, I think it was Friday, the 9th, everyone got lunar boxes in their account. What I mean by everyone, I mean people who were really active in the game and also were crafting probably, or like running a lot of prestiges, something like that. You would have qualified to get this airdrop. It was a huge mystery. Nobody knew what was inside of it, but there was a trick that happened. They completely lied to us. So what I'm going to show you is how they lied to us. So like as a decoration, and they noticed when they placed them that the lunar box had a description, and it said that this box is a chance to uncover a common workshop or enrich your vault with a bounty of time crystals ranging from 250 to 1,000 time crystals, and maybe, just maybe, you might get an epic workshop. That's what it said. But then they come out with this article and they detail some completely different things. They actually reveal the contents of the box. The box has anywhere from 500 to 13,500 time crystals, way more time crystals than what it said when you were trying to place the box. And secondly, it comes with a legendary or mythic special decoration, which is pretty freaking cool. And on top of that, slot 3 gives you a special ticket, just a legendary special ticket. No idea what that is, no idea what the special decoration is, just a whole bunch of special mysterious lunar madness, and everyone's excited to know what is going to be in that box. Decoration wise, what's the ticket for? We all want to know. TBD on that. So next thing here is midweek madness for that week that I missed. Not much to say here. You could craft 2 of either a hatchling hammer or dominion chest from uncommon up to epic, and you would only have to use 2 of that item of the previous rarity. Honestly, the thing I like the most about this event is that there was drop modifiers for increased drop rates for NFTs with red and pink color, so that was kind of cool. It was easier to get the red and pink modifier roll, and if you were looking for those NFTs, people were getting them, which is pretty cool. Finally, after the legendary Ancient Arms Lunar Festival crafting item crafted out, they instantly brought on a mid-round point storm, which essentially meant like, okay, you wanted double leaderboard points on crafting those rares, epics, and legendary, but you didn't get to. to for some reason. You didn't have enough liquidity or something like that. Well, here, now absolutely every single thing you do in big time will give you double leaderboard points. So that is where we saw our third and final pump up to 45 cents this past week and a bit here. And it rallied up there and didn't make it. This event only lasted until February 19th. And very shortly after that, we saw the token price fall down farther than it had ever been for the past week and a bit. It was a cool event. I didn't get to craft half the things I wanted to, but I did manage to craft a couple rares. Can't complain. Okay, so now we're on the 5th week. Finally, this is current. We're actually caught up. So challenge this week is to loot 100 time crystals. That gives you 1,000 leaderboard points. Really not that easy, not that big of a deal either. It's like, kind of okay, whatever. Then the second one is refine augmented lattice 3 times. This is a really easy one, and go figure, only gives us 2,000 leaderboard points. And the other one is to craft 5 hourglasses of any rarity, and once again, only 2,000 leaderboard points. It's like they knew that we had all just gotten our fill on so many leaderboard points this past week and a bit that they were like, okay, this week's challenges, we're just not going to give you basically anything. So I mean, whatever. And then finally, we have the final thing for crafting is midweek madness number 4. You can craft either a great sword of celestial balance from common to rare, or a mantle onyx throne chest from common to rare, and you can pay 50% less big time on the celestial balance, the great sword, and 50% less augmented terracore on the chest piece. So the annoying thing for me is I have been crafting the chest piece because I wanted to craft an epic, and I just finished crafting, or started my craft for the final rare that I needed to craft my epic chest piece like a day before this event came out. So it's kind of like, oh, that stings a bit. It's not the big end of the world, but it's just like, dang it, I was too early. You know, I guess that's a good problem to have, being too early. But anyways, that's all the crafting events caught up. The final thing we're going to talk about though, guys, big time referral leaderboards are the most slept on way to earn big time tokens in the game to date. If you have referral codes to give out, you are sleeping on one of the biggest opportunities to earn your share of 2.5 million big time tokens being allotted to just that referral leaderboard. So we'll take a look at the referral leaderboard here. The referral leaderboard is being given out to 350 spots. So there's only 350 contestants that can win it. And guess what? There aren't even 350 people in the referral leaderboard yet. So that's a huge opportunity. If you are one of the select few-ish, I mean, there's probably several thousand people who have invite codes that they've been giving out and have access to codes. So referral leaderboard, how do you qualify? It's not just did the person click on my link and join the game. That's not going to get you referral leaderboard points this time. They have to have been recruited within the window between the 19th of January and March 22nd. So that means that we have like pretty much a month left for this leaderboard. So they need to have been recruited within that window. They have to also do something like play prestige dungeons, craft hourglasses, craft weapons, craft armor, refine, do something like that. So if you look at my name, I'm not in here. And the reason why I'm not in here, guys, is because nobody I've referred to the game has run prestige dungeons. Nobody has done any crafting yet. They're all new recruits, and they've started playing the game. Some of them are like level 15, level 20. 2.5 million big time tokens allotted to this. 350 participants. Not all the spots are even filled. Pretty easy to get into it if you can try and find a recruit who's willing to start running those prestige dungeons with you, who's willing to start crafting. This might be a great time to take someone under your wing and show them the ropes, hook them up with a nice rental package, get them going, playing this game and that next level. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. If you're watching the video that's going to be following from this and you want to start leveling up your game and you haven't started playing big time yet, or you're one of my new recruits who's got a code for me recently, reach out to me and we'll get you started. We'll get you rolling with some equipment, some gear to start playing some prestiges. If you want to start crafting, we can help you get started with that, and let's try and win this thing together. And that's about it for today, guys. Till the next time I see you guys in the future, make sure you do something that makes you feel good, makes you smile, and yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, throw down a follow, hit the bell notification, do all that stuff, because we talk about all the best things that's going on with big time every single week here.